Hi, this is Anna here at ArtReach. This is the first of our 2021 Art Journal series. So if you got our art kit, you got a sketchbook that is going to become your art journal, as well as 52 art journal prompts. Each week, I'm going to be going through this list and checking off one of these prompts along with you. So first of all, what is an art journal? An art journal is basically a visual diary. It can include writing, or it can just be completely visual. And it's a place for you to explore your thoughts and your feelings, as well as just playing around with different art materials and styles. And the idea of an art journal is that it's really just kind of a way for you to experiment and explore different ideas without the pressure to create a finished art piece. What happens in this art journal can just stay in the art journal. Nobody else ever has to see it. You might make something that you love and you want to turn into a finished art piece and show off. You might make things that you're not so fond of. Either way, it's totally fine. This art journal is all yours to explore and experiment with. All right, art prompt number 1 is to create a title page. So you can include your name, the name of your art journal, or whatever you want, and you can use that as the first page of your art journal, or the cover, or make one of each. Let's get started. So here I'm writing out my lettering in pencil and then going over it with the Sharpie marker. Then taking that polymer eraser and erasing all the pencil lines out from underneath that Sharpie. And because the Sharpie is a permanent marker and because the polymer eraser is a good eraser, it removes that pencil without smearing it. Then I can take my watercolor paint and go over it, filling in the letters, adding designs in behind it. This is a way that I really like to do lettering with watercolor, is to draw out my design with Sharpie and then watercolor over the top. And then a lot of times, once it's completely dry, I will go back in and go over those Sharpie lines even more to darken them up. And because the Sharpie is permanent, it's not bleeding when I'm watercoloring over the top of it. Whereas if you used a water-based marker, it's going to smear and bleed when you are watercolor painting over it. So I'm just kind of playing with the watercolor here and seeing how the colors mix together, letting them bleed together, adding some more water onto the page to kind of bleed the colors together more, and just playing around with it. This was a page that I had just kind of played around with the watercolor paint on before. So I went back and played around some more, adding some details with the Sharpie, adding some more watercolor. It wasn't my favorite page, but I thought instead of tearing it out, let's see what I can do to make it a little bit more something I like. The thing with your art journal is that it's really just a place where you can play around, see what happens. I still wasn't loving this page, so I decided to flick some drops of watercolor paint all over it, splatter it up, make it a little bit more fun. I used a glue stick to stick down this cover, but really to make sure those edges were firmly down and not going to be snagging the rest of the time I'm using this art journal, I added Scotch tape to all of the edges to make sure that it was really sealed down well. Week 1, check. Here's how my cover turned out and my title page. If you would like to share what you came up with for yours, feel free to tag us on Facebook and Instagram at ArtReach Red Wing. Happy creating!